Long ago, there was a land called Hyrule, created by beings of supreme divinity.
A little while back, I put together a list of 7 things the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake absolutely needs to get right. The response was incredible, and based on community comments, there are a few more things the Zelda OOT remake needs to get right. Today we're going back in with 7 more, including one at the very top of this list that is splitting the Zelda community right down the middle. Welcome to Nesmoji. And here are 7 more things the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake needs to get right. Before we get into it, if you haven't seen the first video, I'll link it in the description and at the end of this one. Every single item today is brand new territory that wasn't on that list. So let's start at number 7. At number 7, this one is a little different from everything else on this list, but when you think about what this game is going to look like on Nintendo Switch 2, you'll understand why it belongs here. And that's Photo Mode. The teaser alone showed a level of detail the N64 simply could not deliver. Texture detail, dynamic lighting, much more realistic character rendering. Levels of detail that are definitely photo-worthy. Nintendo's first-party titles have been moving toward this already. Metroid Prime Remastered had screenshot tools. Tears of the Kingdom has generated some of the most beautiful community screenshots in Nintendo history. And that wasn't even an official photo mode. An official photo mode built into the OOT remake, filters, poses, a free roam camera, gives the community an entirely new way to engage with this world. Some of the most shared content after this game launches is going to be screenshots. The hardware is already there. The world is already beautiful. Nintendo just needs to include it. That's a very easy win. At number 6, I want to talk about something that could make this remake feel genuinely different to play, not just visually different to look at. Switch 2 specific features. In my first video, I mentioned the Switch 2 tools as a potential solution for quick swapping items like the iron boots. Today I want to go further than that because the Switch 2 introduced something that could completely transform specific moments in this game. The mouse-style controls built right into the Joy-Con 2. Think about every first-person aiming sequence in OOT. Every time you pull out the bow, the slingshot, the hookshot. Right now in the original you're nudging an analog stick to aim. With Switch 2's mouse controls, that becomes precise, physical, first-person aiming. The shooting gallery, the Spirit Temple bow puzzles, the final battle with Ganon, all of them feel fundamentally different with responsive mouse aiming. There's also the HD rumble potential that could be used. Songs played on the ocarina, each note produces a physical vibration in your hands. Epona's song, the Song of Time, Soraya's song, imagine actually feeling each note. Nintendo already knows how to do this. For a game that is literally built around music as a core mechanic, this is just too good to leave on the table. Number 5. Hey, listen! If you played Ocarina of Time, you know exactly what I mean. Navi is one of the most beloved and simultaneously most mocked characters in Zelda history. She means well. She genuinely does. But hey, listen, has become one of the defining gaming memes of an entire generation. Here's what the remake has the opportunity to do. Don't remove Navi, she's part of the DNA of this game. Instead, give her a genuine overhaul, contextual hints that actually scale to where you are in the game. Instead of pointing at an enemy and saying, hey, listen, watch out. Imagine Navi offering tiered useful guidance. A small nudge for players who are stuck, real lore insight for players who want depth. There's also a huge emotional opportunity here. Navi and Link spend the entire game together, child and adult. In the original, their relationship was mostly functional. The remake could add small moments. Navi reacting to what Link has been through. Quiet conversations between dungeons that make you actually feel something when that final scene comes. Remember the Switch 2 haptic feedback piece from number 6? It applies here too. Every time Navi rings her bell to get your attention, a subtle vibration. Small detail, but massive immersion impact. By the way, if this video is hitting right for you, a quick subscribe goes a long way. There's a lot more Zelda content on this channel with a lot more coming. And now on to number 4, which has the potential to add a huge payoff reward to this game. At number 4, this one is for everyone who has spent hours, and I do mean hours, hunting down every single Gold Skulltula in Hyrule. 100 Gold Skulltulas. That is the full completion challenge of the original OOT. Here's how the original rewarded you for that. Once you got 10 Gold Skulltula tokens, you received the Adult's Wallet, which let you carry 200 rupees at max. At 20 tokens, you got the Stone of Agony. At 30 tokens, you get the Giant's Wallet, which lets you hold a max of 500 rupees. And those rewards are pretty good, but at 40 tokens, you get Bomb Chews. Really? Just Bomb Chews? At 50 tokens, you get a Piece of Heart, pretty good. But then you don't get another reward until you found all 100 Gold Skulltula tokens and returned them back to the cursed family. And every time you return back to the same house in Kakariko Village, the patriarch of the family will give you another gold rupee, so you could get infinite rupees that way, which is pretty cool, I guess. But in 2026, on a full remake that's going to attract veteran players and brand new players alike, that reward structure just doesn't seem to hold up. What we want is a completely reworked Skultulla reward tier. How about cosmetic items for Link at 25, 50, 75, and 100 tokens? Maybe an alternate N64 Link skin at full completion? New lore collectibles, secret rooms, something that actually makes finding all 100 feel legendary rather than just feel like it's technically done. Nintendo has introduced the mechanic in past Zelda games of being able to create your own dungeons, like in Zelda Link's Awakening on the Switch. That could be another reward for finding all 100 Gold Skulltula tokens. At number 3, and this might actually be the most fun category on the entire list, Minigame Expansion. The original OOT had some genuinely fantastic minigames. The fishing pond at Lake Hylia is a full experience on its own. Plenty of players spent an hour just fishing. Horseback archery at Gerudo Valley, bomb chew bowling, the Running Man. These weren't just diversions, they were part of what made Hyrule feel like a living world. With Switch 2 hardware, every single one of these is ready for a serious upgrade. The fishing pond with mouse controls for casting would be one of the best fishing experiences in any Nintendo game. Horseback archery with gyro aiming would completely transform the challenge. Bomb chew bowling could expand into a multi-room puzzle experience with actual progression. The one I'm most curious about though is the Running Man. In the original, that race is unwinnable. It's famous gaming history. There's literally no way to beat him due to how the game was programmed. In the remake, Nintendo has the opportunity to make that race completable, with a proper reward waiting at the finish line. It's a tiny change, but it's the kind of thing veteran players have wanted for 25 years. Just let us win the race. At number 2, this might be my personal favorite on the entire list, and I think it's going to resonate with anyone who played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom. Expanded Gerudo Fortress and Gerudo Town. In the original OOT, the Gerudo section is, and I say this delicately, criminally short. You sneak into the fortress, you rescue the 4 carpenters, you earn the Gerudo's card, and then the Gerudo section basically becomes a corridor to the Spirit Temple. The town itself has almost no NPCs, no real shops, no lore beyond a few lines of text. Here's why this is such a massive opportunity. After BOTW and TOTK, the Gerudo are one of the most beloved factions in the entire Zelda franchise. Urbosa, Riju, the entire culture Nintendo built around them. The OOT remake is set in the same universe, just 100 years earlier. Give us a proper Gerudo Town, NPCs with stories, side quests that explore Gerudo culture before Ganondorf betrayed his people, a Gerudo section that feels as alive as Hateno Village in BOTW. That transformation alone would be one of the most talked about additions in the entire remake. It's new content, but it's content that feels completely authentic to the world. Nintendo already has the blueprint, they just need to apply it. At number 1, the one I mentioned at the very beginning of this video that is genuinely splitting the Zelda community in half, voice acting. For 25 years, Zelda games used written text, grunts, and musical tones instead of full voice acting. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom partially changed that. Key cutscenes had full voice acting while exploration stayed text-based. It worked beautifully. But the question for the OOT remake is whether Nintendo goes all the way. Full voice acting for every character, every cutscene, every line of dialogue. The community is genuinely divided on this, and both sides have a point. On one side, full voice acting would make this feel like a truly new game. A voiced Ganondorf in the throne room with young Link. A voiced Great Deku Tree telling you about the great evil for the very first time. Soraya singing Soraya's song with actual vocals. Those could be unforgettable moments. On the other side, also a real valid argument, part of the magic of OOT is that silence. Link has no voice. He is you. His dialogue is text because the player is filling that role. Voice acting Link specifically might be the one change that feels like too much. Here's what I think would be the perfect solution. Voice acting for all major characters. Zelda, Ganondorf, Impa, Soraya, the Great Deku Tree, Nabooru, Ruto, with Link remaining silent. That hybrid approach keeps the emotional core of Link's character intact, while giving the rest of Hyrule a voice that actually matches what these environments are going to look like. So, full voice acting, hybrid, or keep the original format? Leave it in the comments. This is genuinely one where I want to hear where this community lands. Those are 7 more things the Zelda Ocarina of Time remake absolutely needs to get right. Photo mode, Switch 2 exclusive features, a Navi Overhaul, a Gold Skulltula reward system that actually rewards you, expanded minigames, a proper Gerudo Town, and full voice acting. Or at least a hybrid approach that meets the community halfway. If you want to see the first list of 7 items that the Zelda OOT remake absolutely needs to get right, click the link in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps me out and I really do appreciate it. I hope you all have a wonderful day.